Hi, Eric Lanask here in Miami, Florida. We are getting set for ITEXPO Miami 2013 here on the first day. We're here in the studio today with Equilibrium Contact Center's Gregg Hansen. Gregg, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely.
We talked a little while ago on the phone. Bring me up to speed. What's Equilibrium Contact Center been up to? Who are you? What's your goal in the market?
Great. We're based out of the Midwest, and we're a software company. So our bread and butter is contact center, and where we differentiate ourselves from other manufacturers is we're completely web-based. So we deploy on-premise or hosted, and agents, call center supervisors, historical reporting, all of the contact center core is done through a web browser, so there's no software to install.
So what's the benefit in terms of, so you've got a customer on the line, what's the benefit to them for, as opposed to, some of the other vendors out there?
As to installing software on-premise? Well, maintenance and ongoing administration. You can imagine if you have 150 seats, if you need to update the site or install a new feature, typically you'd have to go to every station and update each one. With our software, it actually pushes the updates through the web, and the agents just use their browser and their phones, whether it's a soft phone or a hard phone, but they get a notification that there's an update, they click refresh, and they're using the new software.
So regarding the competitive market, certainly the contact center environment is fairly competitive. Who do you see as your key competition?
We haven't really run into it too much. I mean, the market's so broad, but key competition we've run into would be, I'm actually drawing a blank on that. We don't have too much problems with it, actually.
Yeah. So what kind of businesses typically end up being your customers?
We have a lot of car companies, taxi cab companies, any company that has a support line, banks, stuff like that, because it's just very easy to update and maintain, and people are moving more towards hosted and virtualized, obviously, and we support those too.
Now, what about, do a lot of business with folks with home-based or remote agents?
Yeah, absolutely, because we're web-based, all you need is that one port for it to work, so VPN or remote agents work perfectly with our software.
Now, what do folks need in terms of a PBX on-prem in order to work with your software?
Well, we have our single server solution or dual server, because you need redundancy, obviously. But just basically any rack mount server will work as our PBX and call center in one.
So you've got the PBX integrated into the call center platform?
We're the PBX as well. We don't just add on to an existing PBX. So we provide all of that functionality, and because we're working with a specific PBX, we can add higher than normal functionality to that.
Is it a proprietary solution or open source?
It's open source. It's based on Asterisk.
Got it. And what was the motivation behind an Asterisk-based platform?
That's all my experience and all my background is with Asterisk, is managing call centers. So when the opportunity happened, basically, got a development team together and we got the product out there.
Has market reception towards Asterisk changed over the last couple of years?
Absolutely, yeah, because there's some previous releases that aren't as stable, obviously, and I think it's to a point where people see it as a stable solution that's a lot easier to manage with tools like our call center, not just editing manual config files, in Asterisk the old school way. So I believe that generally people are more receptive to it now.
So as a vendor who's using a recognized brand in Asterisk, does that make it easier for you to enter the market?
I believe so.
As opposed to a proprietary vendor, again, without a previously recognized brand.
Absolutely, because you'd be very hesitant. If you said you programmed a PBX, I would be hesitant. I would try it out, but I'd be hesitant. With Asterisk, it's proven, it's out there, and people are using it.
Is there, what about competitiveness with regards to proprietary alternatives? You still have to convince people, no, what open source is, it's real, it's viable, it's out there. There's some very prominent, very large organizations that are using Asterisk-based systems.
Yeah, I think it's definitely easy to convince people to get on board. You know, over the last couple of years, it's been more and more easy because you know, bigger companies are getting on board with it. So it's definitely helping that way.
How big of a factor is cost still?
Cost as far as the hardware or
Yeah.
software?
Well, both actually.
Both.
You know, in terms of you know how much you've got to invest in a system.
Well, we have a base package, and you can get into a 10-agent, 10-seat call center with very advanced features like cradle to grave and all of this graphical dial plane scripting. You can get into that for easily less than $20,000 after the dealer to the customer cost. So I think it's definitely an easy solution for people to get into where they currently, you know, previously wouldn't be able to afford like a call manager, other type solution.
And how are you going to market?
We currently sell through dealer and distributor channels. So we don't sell direct. It doesn't make sense for us to right now, but we have our partners that we work with.
Any specific geographic areas, or you're looking nationwide?
Nationwide in Mexico, Canada, and working on the rest of the world right now too.
As you head south into Mexico and potentially other areas of Latin America, is that are there different challenges? Are there different advantages in particular that an Asterisk-based system is going to help you overcome?
Absolutely. They're very receptive to the flexibility, but cost is a huge factor in Latin America. You can't be at the same base package that you would be in the United States. So it's a different pricing model to basically get into the Latin American market, but that's something we're pursuing as well.
But again, and that's going to be something you're going to need to go through distribution channels.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, we appreciate you spending the time here. I look forward to seeing you again at ITEXPO.
Great. Thank you.